Brought up.
Well, welcome guys to another episode of That's Racing. Episode 13?
12.
13.
13.
Wow, time flies, eh?
You know, it's not bad.
And
13 episodes. I don't think I'll be doing that with you.
that's 13 fortnights, mate. It's a long time.
It is a long time.
Sitting with this monkey.
Introduce the people we have.
So today's episode, I mean, we've got a lot to cover, a lot to talk about. First and foremost, we're going to get a bit of understanding of Joe and the Profab boys. We're here to talk about the crash that happened recently. And I think that's probably what a lot of the viewers want to be able to see as well or hear about. And the other thing we want to do is a bit of a recap of the recent Jamboree that just went by.
Yeah, definitely. And I think would be nice to know the story of where it all started from for Joe and Profab itself. So, yeah, welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome to the podcast.
Yeah.
Hi guys.
How are yous?
Talk us through the inception of Profab. What brought it about?
Where did you start?
Where did I
what
start?
inception
In
means.
simple words.
Look, I was probably 18 years old. That's obviously when I first got my license. That's when you start playing with cars.
Yeah. It's about 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years ago. No, it was actually 38 years ago.
Shit.
So, like it just obviously started off with street cars. So I'm a
What was your first car?
Cortina,
Cortina.
4-cylinder.
Fuck.
Got any photos of that?
Twin Webbers. No, we don't.
Because 38
No?
years ago, didn't have a camera.
So were you actually a car guy? Or did you have a trade in any sort of automotive at the time?
I'm a fitter and machinist by trade. And I did do, prior to starting my apprenticeship as a fitter and machinist, I did 1 year as a motor mechanic and then started fitting, machining and, having, a background in fitting and machining helps a lot when you're doing mechanical work because, as they say, a fitter and machinist can make any part, you know what I mean? Like with the right tools, you can make a lot of stuff. So
And make it work.
make it work. Well, making it work is another thing. Well, you need to have the knowledge, and obviously, the knowledge came and the experience with over time. So, it was just the passion to keep going faster and faster started from a very young age, and obviously I could never afford to pay people to do things at that age, so I just started doing it all myself, so whatever I could. I was building engines, I've built gearboxes, whatever I could do myself.
So you were 18 trying to get all this stuff done on your own car?
18, 19, 20, it was like over years. So I remember my first experience at a drag strip was at Canberra. So, and that was back, would have been early 80s at Canberra Dragway. And
Canberra has a dragway?
yeah,
It did.
Canberra
It
had a
Really?
dragway,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
yeah.
I actually saw a photo of that resurfaced recently on the internet, and it's
Also-
like overgrown with shrubs and
Yeah.
maybe something worth buying.
Yeah.
We should
It's not
maybe
that far,
inquire.
3 hours.
They were trying to get it back up and running
Yeah.
for a long time, but I
Who
don't
owns
know.
that? Is it part of is it government owned or
No,
private?
No, Ellie owns
idea.
it.
No idea. But yeah, the first trip down the drag strip, it was like a
So why Canberra though? Like, is that you were?
Because that was the only drag strip.
Really?
Yeah, so we did, it was like, I think we went to the Summer Nats at that time. It was around
Fuck, how long
December.
someone has been around for?
Oh, it's
Well,
been
what
around
are we
for a
up
long
to?
time.
Summer Nats. What number Summer Nats?
I've
we
got
up
no
to?
idea.
I have no idea. I
Isn't
only
it
been
like
to
20
one.
something?
don't know.
38, 39, I think.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, so from Summer Nats, we ended up at the drag strip and we,
What'd you run?
13.3.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But that would have been fast back then.
Back
man.
then it was, it
Well,
was
think about it. It's
very
not,
fast.
It's not that much off 8 now.
Four banger,
It's not that much off
No,
what you run.
6-cylinder.
6 cylinder.
So it was a 6-cylinder turbo sucking through a 2-inch SU.
Really?
Yeah.
What's an SU?
What is an SU?
Snorkel.
SU carburetor is
Oh, well.
See, some people don't
Yeah.
know this,
the most English type cars had SU carburetors.
So that must be a Wollongong thing.
Yeah.
So had they? Were you in Wollongong at the time?
Yeah, yeah.
You were.
Yeah, I've always
Oh,
been.
you've always been a Wollongong.
boy.
Is this the car that you crashed on the trailer?
Yes, same car.
It is?
Yeah, so
Shit.
that
Have you seen the photo of that?
That was shocking.
What happened?
Tell them the story about that, Joe.
That was a trip down. We went to the Winter Nationals, so it was still, it was a 6-cylinder that we were developing over years, and at that time I think it was like a 10-0 car. We were trying to run 9s, and we went to the Winter Nationals at Willowbank, and first pass threw the rods out. So put the car on the trailer, and we sat there and watched the whole event.
He's done that before.
Yeah.
Ask him how.
But anyway, yeah, getting back to the accident, it was we, left Willowbank Raceway, started towing back home towards Wollongong, and it was like 40 minutes up the road from Willowbank, and yeah, hit a garbage truck.
Wow.
Yeah, ran up the back of a garbage truck. It was a bad accident, like I was trapped in the car for I think like an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I've seen the photo of this. So
Yeah,
the Cortina was on a trailer that obviously
Yeah.
it was towing with, and
Yeah, the Cortina was on an open trailer.
yeah,
It done its best 60 foot ever, because as soon as I hit that garbage truck, that broke all 4 straps and landed on the roof of the car.
Really?
It was the best 60 foot that Cortina ever did. Yeah.
Wow.
it literally ended up in your car, right?
It landed, it was actually on the roof. There was 3 of us in the car at the time.
Any serious injuries?
I had all the injuries. I mean, the way the accident happened, like there was a Pantech truck in front of me. This garbage truck, it was a 2-lane highway, so one southbound, one northbound lane.
Yeah.
And the garbage truck pulled up, like a third of his truck was off the road, 2/3 was still on the road. I had a Pantech in front of me, and the Pantech realised that this garbage truck has stopped and went round
And
the
you couldn't
garbage
see it
truck,
because
and I
of the
seen the
Pantech.
garbage truck, and at the same time there was a car overtaking me on the wrong side of the road.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was just, anyway,
The perfect storm.
yeah.
So when you say you sustained serious injuries, what are we talking
So
about?
I crushed the skull. I broke the skull off my, broke the cheekbone off my skull.
Is that scar that you've got from that accident?
Yeah. So this scar across my face was from where the back of the taillights of the garbage truck.
Oh.
Oh
Yeah.
wow!
So you actually kissed the garbage truck.
Oh yeah, went straight underneath it. So yeah, just broke the cheekbone off the skull, and there's another scar over the top of my head where they did a face-off to repair the skull. So
So they actually pulled your face off to...
yeah, pull the scalp off.
Nicolas Cage.
Really? I didn't know that part.
It's Nicolas Cage.
I severed these 2 fingers.
They grow back.
But they fixed. They grew
Can
back.
you introduce me to that dude?
They fixed them up.
Okay,
You want to
grab
face
my
off
tail.
that?
But anyway, that's.
So how long were you out for from them injuries?
Look, I was.
But it sounds like
probably
13 years.
12 months. Yeah, 12 months to and from
Wow.
hospitals and. Yeah.
So you're no
Pretty full on.
stranger to crashes, and we'll get into that. But wow,
yeah,
that's
I've had my share of accidents.
wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So
then-
from there,
But they were on the road. Racetrack accidents, I've got one.
is that the only one?
That's the only one. But that's
we'll
the
talk
biggest.
about that.
I've had some close calls, but yeah, that's the biggest one I've had, and
We'll get
I
to
don't
that.
I don't think I'll forget that one for a while.
yeah. Well, I'm
We'll,
sure you won't.
We'll get to that in a sec.
So
but-
what happened after the
so
Cortina?
yeah.
So yeah, after that, like while I was in hospital, I was planning the rebuild of the Cortina, as a car nut does. Like if you're a car enthusiast,
That's so funny you say
know,
that, man. I lost the tow. I was in hospital messaging George, hey, get my car going again.
Yeah.
And I remember you, because you repaired some of it for me.
yeah.
I was
So
telling Joe, hurry up, mate. Like, come on,
So
let's
it
go.
was in the mid plate.
Let's go. Exactly.
It's like the thing that just tried to kill you. You want it back.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like, it's why people go fishing, to go after the one that got away, you know?
Yeah,
You want to
man.
go there and just...
I think my mum and my mother and father were praying that that was it for cars for me, and I'm sure they said to the doctor, do a blood transfusion, get all that bad blood out of him, but they left just that little bit and just contaminated it all again. But yeah, I mean, look, I don't know anything else. That's, I've tried a lot of other things
So what have you
to
tried?
try and move away from cars, but it was all adrenaline stuff because that's, you know, it's like motorbikes, jet skis, you know.
And they've got their fair share of
Oh, of course.
problems.
I think
and
a jet ski is a bit worse than
Yeah.
cars.
Well,
You don't got a roll cage.
I mean, well, that's,
people get
that's
hurt
true.
on jet skis.
Yeah, I mean, look, the racetrack is the safest place. You know, it is a safe place. So, obviously,
We
has
convince
its
ourselves
element.
that.
It has its elements of danger, like anything else. That's, you know,
whatever we love is very bad.
yeah.
Us mirrored.
And you don't really think about the safety aspect until you need it, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
And one of the things that Joe told me when I first met him, he said to me, "There's three things that
100%.
that we go by," and you know, after you know smashing a car myself, I realised how true it was, and it was his number one priority was safety, practicality,
So safety, functionality,
and
looks.
then looks. Yeah,
Don't mix their order up.
yeah. I think I started at looks, and then
Yeah. Well, a lot of people do, but you know, they lack that. You know, the safety is, as you know, as you all know, you know, like it is the number one key to this sport. You know, like.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that because that recent incident with Lyle Barnett, you know, you see that in-car footage of the car engulfed in flames, and if it weren't for his safety gear, he wouldn't have been able to walk out unscathed.
100%.
Is that Camaro overseas?
100%.
Yeah, I seen it.
And it's happened to him
the
before as
ground.
well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's he's all banged up because of it. But that's
It must be a normal thing then.
Yeah.
well,
I don't think it's quite normal,
Sa-
but
safety.
the safety saved him. And I think I read a post that John
Hey, look.
Ricker put up talking about how important it is to wear the
that's
right
why he
gear.
wrote it.
Yeah,
For
Yeah,
that.
because he's had that sort of experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I look at it, you know, like motorsport, you know, some of the best drivers like Peter Brock. He was one of the best, you know. Love him or hate him, he was one of the best at what he did. But he still come unstuck, you know. Like I see people doing stuff on the road and, you know, they're good drivers. People are good drivers, but
You don't know.
you just don't know. Like, do not do that sort of stuff on the street, you know. Save it for the racetrack because it's, you know, like Peter Brock was on the, you know, on the road. You know, there's telegraph poles, there's trees, there's,
Pothole.
you know, innocent people walking, you know.
So true.
Yeah,
All right, so back to this Cortina.
Cortina.
Did you repair it after the accident?
Yeah.
You
yeah,
did?
Yeah, repaired it. And then from then on, it went back. So after the accident, we put the 6-cylinder in it and did some, you know, modifications to the car. And that car ended up going at an
864.
there you go, 864.
Is that blue Cortina, the twin turbo small block
Yeah,
one?
it's blue,
That
yeah.
you bought or
Yeah,
got
that
back?
I got now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You
that's
still
the
got
car.
the car?
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah, so the
We don't have any
still-
photos of it at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
I
do?
actually
Oh,
raced
there
him.
it is.
Oh, that car.
I raced him at Queensland Jambo. Do you remember that? Where I flogged you? He put about 4 car lengths on me.
Really?
I was running 790s and his guys, what were you running at the time?
680.
680s. I got you, mate.
So you still got that car?
So,
Wow.
and he says 4 car lengths, but it was like
14.
14.
14 buses.
What car were you in?
The RX3, the green one, pack 275.
I think it was the first time he ran a 7, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Really?
So he really put all that effort in and still lost.
Said I got you, mate.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I mean, look, that's where, you know, like that's where I've, you know,
That's where it started.
it started, and I've learnt, you know, I've made all the mistakes.
Speaking of races, he flogged me with the boogeyman too.
Really?
That was a cool photo, mate.
Yeah, you got a photo of that one or what?
In the
fucking
Mustang?
hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the first time taking the boogeyman out to Kenday in Queensland. He like fucking just got me. He got me on the tree. That's where he got me.
Yeah, you're not very good at the tree, red light bandit.
Yeah.
We know that.
I try, man. I try.
So,
Clearly not. You wait for it to go red.
so Cortina, after the Cortina, where'd we go?
So yeah, after the 6-cylinder version of the Cortina, we decided, well, we can't keep up with these mod streeters because they're going 790s, and we went the twin turbo small block route, and yeah, that back in the modified street days, it was like a 7.1. I think I managed to go that quick, and then we switched it over to a radial tyre, and we went, what was it, Jonathan?
685.
685, yeah.
So you've had your share of radial and slick.
Yeah.
What do you
yeah.
prefer?
What do you prefer?
Well, obviously radial because it keeps going fast in it.
Wow.
Oh, he just used a slick car. It was only 5.5.
it's very hard to beat a radial tyre. I mean, Andrew,
Love them or hate them, they are
the
awesome.
In what sense?
Well, if the track's prepped right for a radial, it's very hard to beat a radial tyre. Doesn't matter what
Really?
slick car you bring, But they all have their place. Yeah, so, I mean, at the moment I'm racing, I was racing Pro Mod. It's a big tyre thing. It's a totally different feeling. And I remember letting go of the button the first time in the Pro Mod, and I thought, holy hell, that, felt like a 0.9 something in the 60, but it was actually slower than my radial car.
Well,
Yeah, it's just a different feeling,
It feels different, does it?
Yeah, because, I mean, the radial car, you let go of the button and it rolls out and just pours the power on.
this
Where
just comes on.
A slick car, it's wheel speed straight off the hit. So, that it's a, and
What's
I mean,
the
look,
fastest you've been in a radial?
585 on the quarter and
385.
385 on the
Eighth.
on the eighth. Yeah.
585.
Yeah. So my record just got knocked off on the weekend.
By Paul Merry,
Paul Merry,
one of
yeah.
your customers.
It's a customer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
And that was good because Queensland didn't have radial prep.
No, it was actually like, I mean, we were planning on going quicker than that. Like that car, with some decent prep. I'm not talking about, the prep that we're getting in Sydney, but just something better than what we had at the Jambo, because Jambo was just a slick track.
Yeah.
That car will, quite easily go 570.
Well,
It potentially can go a lot faster. I mean, it's gone 369 on the 8th, and it'll back half 1.8, 1.9. So
that's crazy. Did we end up getting a video of that? We did.
it'd be
I
pretty
actually
quick.
didn't. I didn't see the run because I didn't come up till Friday, but
It was fast.
I seen it on
Yeah.
Facebook. But yeah, it looked
I think I sent
really
that video.
fast.
Yeah.
Of that.
Did you send it? Let's play that
So
video.
is-
if you can.
That's
No,
not
that's
the
not
video.
it. That's Joe's Cortina. But let's just watch that anyway. That's the Cortina.
When is this?
We should have got the race where he raced me. That would have been cool to watch.
How long do you want to send it to, Steph?
Wow.
Good days.
How long ago was that?
Jonathan? 10?
Maybe 8 years ago.
Do you still race it?
Oh, I'm building it now.
Yeah.
Change the engine
You're
combo.
putting a barrow in it now, yeah?
No, the 7.3 Godzilla.
So
Goes
we've gone
on.
a
New
different
Ford engine.
direction again.
Well,
Single
But you were
turbo.
doing a barrow, weren't you?
Yeah,
Why are you going that direction instead of like a V8 twin turbo?
something different. So Nathaniel from Fuel Tech has a supercharged one in his
Yes.
XA. They have good feedback. So
He's going fast in it,
Different.
right?
yeah, when 8:30.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a heavy car too, so
So what do you want to run in it when you finish it?
Whatever.
Are you driving?
I'll drive it. So I'll start off slow and work my way up.
there's no pressure
There's no such thing as
there's no
starting
pressure.
off slow, mate.
Nah.
Just
for
feed
him
it
to
all
do
in.
anything. He just goes out, enjoys it, sees what it's all about, and then just baby
That's the
steps
father
it.
talking, mate.
100%. I'll talk to
I'll tell you now.
anyone else the same way.
Put all the power in it, mate. You
Yeah.
get used to
Nah.
being like a little softly. That's what you're going to get used to. Just jam it all in from day one.
No,
I'd rather have some fun than fucking break shit.
I went from fucking running 790s to 380s in fucking... and blame Paul for that. Paul, I said to Paul, I was shitting myself at the time.
You
when I
went
first-
from 790 to 70 for about a year in the blue car. Then you went.
Okay, 7-0 to fucking...
Because you gave up.
380s.
You gave up on that
Andrew.
blue car.
Drag racing is easy, yeah?
It is.
No, it's
From,
not.
all you got to do
That
from
tree
the
doesn't
start
work.
line is let go of the button and go in a straight line. Anybody can do it.
Yep.
The only thing is, you can only tell a driver when shit goes wrong. Because you could put a monkey in the seat. If that car goes in a straight line and he knows how to let go of the button and pull the chute,
That's
what's
why we
left?
go to Profab to make sure the car goes straight.
yeah, but when shit goes wrong, Andrew, you've had stuff go wrong, yeah?
I've had stuff go
He
wrong.
lost it.
that's where the experience comes in.
That's where the experience comes
Yeah,
in.
100%.
So
I remember he
this
told
is where
me-
you need to gain this experience.
Yeah.
Has-
When I first
you
finished
raced
my
before?
RX3 and he says,
Not seriously.
Joe said to me, come.
What's the
I'll-
fastest you've been?
1240.
Okay, yeah, you got to do baby steps to get to the 6.5.
Yeah.
So you got to go like an 8, then a 6.
Hey, I'm more than confident that Jonathan could do not baby steps, but
why
bigger
risk it?
steps.
But
Bigger
why
steps.
risk it?
But
Yeah.
we don't need to do.
There's nothing to beat.
We
Joe-
got
Joe- yeah.
we got nothing to prove.
Joe's got a big thing about doing things in increments.
Safety.
He likes increments.
Increments.
Fair call.
He
Baby
doesn't
boo
like
slow.
turn it up.
Yeah.
Just seat
I mean,
time. That's what he told me. I finished my RX3. I was umming and ahhing whether I'll go to Willowbank or not. He goes, just come down. Seat
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you don't go fast.
Did you
seat
go?
time. Yeah, I went.
What'd you run?
4.0 at the time, remember?
Like who would put 100 pound in and send you out? That's crazy.
It is. But I mean,
Wouldn't anyone
even
love that?
even to sort a car out, you can't just expect to go in there and just throw the kitchen sink at this thing. You know, like obviously you've got to, you know, like a Pro Mod or something like that. You got to give it something decent. You know, but you don't have to give it everything. But, you know, because while you're trying to sort a car out, you know, that's the way I think anyway. I mean,
Anthony
I could be
Matuk,
wrong. I'm not
if
saying
you're
it's right.
listening, can you take note? Anthony Matuk. I think he's aiming that at you, Anthony.
Anthony just, yeah.
Anthony loves to go out, 90 pounds, let's go.
Yeah.
We're going to start at 65.
So after that Cortina, I think you moved on to the Mustang.
Yeah, so then we built a 2016 Mustang.
Silver car, yeah.
Yeah, so we bought that as a stat write-off and basically, you know, cut it all up and put a, you know, full tube chassis in the car. And
You built that all yourself at your shop in...
yeah,
Ferrymeadow, yeah.
yeah. So that was
We still left that 3/4 chassis.
originally it was built, yeah, as a 3/4 chassis because it was built to suit the outlaw radial
In
rules.
Kenda at the time.
Pro radial.
Pro radial. and
IHRA,
Was
yeah.
Kenda at the time? Was
No,
that
it
a
wasn't.
3/4?
No, it was
I
just
can't
for the-
remember. Yeah, I think it was more the outlaw radial class, wasn't
Yeah,
it? Yeah.
no, IHRA.
IHRA, yeah. So we built it to suit those rules. And yeah, we won a lot of those events, didn't we?
Yeah,
Um,
on a couple.
yeah, in the radial
What
class.
did you run in that car?
585.
Yeah,
it was
585.
Are you talking about the
585.
Mustang?
Yeah.
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 Do you have any photos of that?
585 in
Yeah,
a
that
radial.
one there.
That one there.
Yeah.
They built that all from scratch here.
I remember when that car was for sale, I was actually thinking about it. But then I didn't think about
When
it.
was it for sale?
Not long ago.
It was
Couple years.
actually got sold to
2022 maybe?
to one of our spot on customers up in Queensland.
Okay.
What's he
Yeah.
doing to it?
He's putting a
481X back in it.
yeah, he's putting a 481X, but like a I think it was a wet, like a big block version of the 481X.
A wet block?
Yeah.
What, to do some drag challenge
Nah,
stuff?
nah,
or-
he's still going to race. I think he's going to run 275 or Outlaw 275, one of the two classes. Yeah, and I think the car would be perfect for 275. So,
So is that your preference, Joe? Radial cars?
I would. I mean, look, I love all sorts of you know racing. You
Yeah.
know.
But if you had to pick like what your preference is, like to build or to drive, what would you
look,
prefer?
at the moment, I'm loving Pro Mod.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm liking the big tyre stuff. I mean, I've got a lot of customers who are running radial, so I've still got a lot of involvement with the radial stuff. So,
Do you think that's got a part of that decision making? Because then that way you can go with your customers to the events that are heavily focused on radials, and then you can...
yeah, look, I mean, I still got an interest in, you know, in maybe one day racing, putting the Pro Mod on a radial tyre. I don't know. I mean, it's all up in the air at the moment, and
That'll be pretty good.
yeah, I'm just enjoying racing Pro Mod, the 585 index. I mean, we do have an opportunity every now and then to, you know, if we want to go fast, there's events there that you can. You can run the Jamboree.
What was your
Grudge
PB
Kings.
in that car? In your Pro Mod? Wasn't it?
I've been a 550,
55?
559, 559 at 270.
You got a speeding ticket, didn't you, for that once?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got written up by IHRA for
We've
that.
seen that. I remember watching that live. That was
I was like,
fucking crazy, man.
270 something, wasn't it?
Yeah,
270.
270. What'd that feel like?
So it went 215,
What'd that feel like?
216, 216 to half that run.
What'd that feel
And
like?
they normally put 60 on the back half. So we laid it over from the 1,000 foot, just laid it over.
Oh, trying to meet the 260 rule and it's still
Yeah.
So what would have went? It would have went like what?
Oh, it would have went
276?
276, 275. Yeah.
How'd that feel like in the car?
I mean, it felt fast like every other pass that I've done in the car feels fast.
You don't notice any difference really between 270 and
240.
260, 260. I knew it was fast, but I didn't think it was that fast.
Right.
And I didn't realise it was that fast till actually Rob Campese, I was racing, he come around the corner and we both got out of the car at the same time. He goes, "You went 550 at 270. I went, "What? 270? I didn't think I went 270. Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you have a bit more confidence in driving your own car, knowing that you've built your own car and worked on it? Like, does that do anything extra for you think?
Oh, 100%. I mean, look, having, me and Jonathan, I mean, Jonathan goes over the car as much as, I do. So you still have, I mean, like part of the crew, like they'll pick stuff up. Like we got a crew member, Steve, and he just finds things that no one ever finds, you know what I mean? Like, "Hey, Joe, what's this little screw here for?" He's just
put it back.
one of those guys that,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to have this, the confidence of being in a safe car,
Of course.
because it's definitely a peace of mind.
I'm that type where if I found the screw, I'd want to know where it come from before I take the car out.
100%.
I wouldn't race it until I found where that screw come from.
Yeah.
These guys are very different.
Well, there must have been a screw loose when it took your toe, so you weren't looking everywhere.
I
Yeah,
should
there was one of the
take back
floorboards.
that was a brand new car.
It's one of the floorboards that were
That
loose.
was
Did you
brand
check
new,
every
bro.
screw then?
Nah, that was the flywheel exploded, didn't
The
it?
ringy exploded.
the
off
ringy
the
exploded,
flywheel.
sorry.
If he had a metal floor, it
It
wouldn't
did have a
came
metal
through.
floor.
It's probably still.
No,
went
I
through.
think
Had
if he had
fucking
a
Bell
a
housing.
proper bell housing, it
I had a Roslight in it, but it didn't have the
yeah,
SFI housing.
yeah,
Well, that's not smart, eh?
needed a
obviously not.
titanium liner.
What about you, Jonathan? Like, how do you feel?
How
when
did you get into this?
Not just how did
to
you get
begin
into
with?
this. I want to know, how do you feel when you stand behind your dad watching him go that fast? Is it
Yeah, it's
normal
it's alright.
now, or you don't get
yeah, it's
nervous
normal.
or anything?
Yeah, I've been going the racetrack for like maybe 16, 17 years now. So it's normal, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have that itch to want to do it yourself, or
Yeah.
are you happy to just stand back?
Oh, I want to do it
and
eventually.
we know
but
you're going to
yeah.
do it eventually. But
When
I
you
mean,
take over, let me know.
Yeah,
We'll do discounts.
just, yeah. It's hard to find time with all the customers, and obviously I want to get out there.
Did you want to get into the same field as your dad when you were younger, or did
Yeah.
you want to do something
No,
completely
I
different?
wanted to do it. I left school when I was 15, started my apprenticeship with Dad, and yeah, so it's been
That's
12
been
years
in the
now.
family now. He's
Yeah.
always wanted to do it.
Yeah, always going to the workshop when I was younger.
How does it feel
Yeah.
to work around beside your dad?
So Jonathan started with go-karts, yeah? So when he was 11?
12, yeah, 11, 12.
11, 12 years old, that's, I mean, everyone talks about, we get a junior dragster, and I thought...
Go-karts?
Go-karts.
You got to be skilled for that shit.
So go-karts is, like you're learning understeer, oversteer, it's...
Not crashing a wall.
Losing. So, and he raced go-karts, like professionally, raced go-karts for, 4 years?
Yeah,
Yeah, 4 years. So we travelled all over Australia.
Should have stuck to go-karts.
should have.
Makes it big.
Could have been the Formula 1 by now.
But when he got to 16, it would come to that, like where he's going to turn into senior. I said, well, what do you want to do? Do you want to...
He wanted the radio.
Do you want drag racing, or do you want to keep going pursuing go-karts? And he chose drag racing.
Fucking nice.
Yeah.
And what do you see? Like, do you see you in him, or do you think he's going to be better?
Oh, hey, look, as he's definitely better. He's going to be better than me. And as a fabricator, he's better. He's better than I was at his age. So I mean,
It's also new technology.
he's leaps and
new
bounds
everything.
in front of where I was. So
Yeah.
as a racer, I'm sure he's been around it. He sees, he knows. Because you see new guys coming to the track. Like they don't know the lights, they don't know the staging procedures.
That's me.
Like say.
My
He
mate-
understands all this
Yeah.
already, so it's just a matter of confidence and driving the car.
Well, having your own race car and racing yourself obviously adds a big dynamic to that.
Yeah.
And that obviously helps you guys be able to better all the customers' cars. But yeah, he's come to the track with us when you weren't there, and
Yeah.
he's done pretty
He's
well.
more switched on than you. So.
Thanks.
Doesn't take much.
But he's more for turning it up. So
Yeah.
Let it eat. So I think it's time to get to the good part. So after that car, or that Mustang, you then bought the Pro Mod, sold that, or you bought the Pro Mod before you had sold it?
Yeah.
And
So we did a deal with, because it was previously owned with Carl Cox. So
that's right. That was Carl's car that he crashed in Sydney, wasn't it?
Well, the history of that Pro Mod is
That's Gonzalez's. Right?
Jose Gonzalez's, the El General Mustang. So
Who's Jose Gonzalez?
the general,
the El General,
the El General.
a very wealthy man
Okay.
who drives a lot of fast Pro Mods.
yeah, very
It's a
good
sick name,
driver.
El General.
So
Who built that car to begin with?
So that's a Bickle car, and that car had been, I think Eric was driving at the time, went 540
Wow.
at
That's right.
275.
275, I think it was.
Yeah, so that'd been 540 that car.
Yeah, nice.
And that's with the MH4.
That's probably back in 2013.
Yeah, so at the time it was the quickest door car, I
Yeah,
believe that
it
car
was
in
It
its
was.
time.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a great car. You know, like I've been over it. I've stripped that car back to nothing. I've made some changes, and
Are
you know,
you
obviously-
rebuilding it now?
Yeah.
Have you got photos of it now in its current state, or no?
No. So I've repaired. You know, after the accident, I've repaired all the chassis now. So the chassis is all back to where it was, with a few upgrades.
What'd you upgrade?
Just
Safety stuff or power?
nah, more front suspension. Just to allow for these extra travel length shocks where the car was never built for the extra travel shocks. So it's got high misalignment rod ends on the lower control arms and
Just things
high
that you
misalignment.
wanted to do before. You said, "Fuck it, I'll just do it now."
Yeah, do it now. So safety. Look, I've added an extra bar in the roof. It's just a peace of mind thing. I mean, I had to repair
The roof anyway.
the windscreen bar anyway. So while the roof was off, I added an extra, just a cross brace over the top of the roof, just to give it a little bit more safety.
What engine you put it back at?
The MH5.
Was the motor good after the crash? No problems?
Yeah, the motors are all good. So Frank from Dandy Engines will, when the time, you know, in the next month or two, he'll come down and we'll strip it and, you know, check everything over. But yeah, I mean, we looked at the data after the accident and the engine basically just switched off, like it didn't rev or over rev or anything like that. So, I mean, the only thing that damage to the engine was the intake manifold, the top half of the intake manifold where the car was sliding on the roof bar and the intake manifold. So we just ordered a new half from Expert in Brazil. So yeah, that should be ready any time. The shocks are off back to the States to get an overhaul, check over.
So how long do you think before we see that car back out?
February.
Geez, I'd like to say November.
Wow.
I'd really love to say November, but now I'm at the stage where things are getting out of my hand and I need to rely on,
Other people.
Yeah, carbon fibre needs to be repaired. Once that's done, it'll need, obviously the car will get repainted and
What colour are you doing it?
exactly the same, not changing it. Car will
So
come out.
It was hot anyway.
Once you repaint it, then it's all in your hands to put back together.
So we've basically stripped pulled all the wiring out, you know, brakes, everything, diff, gearbox, everything. It's just basically it's just
a shell,
a chassis, shell and chassis. So yeah, all the wiring will go back in. Enzo from Regional Auto Electrics, who wired the car up, he's got a little bit of wiring to repair in the front where the fire was. I've got to make a new fuel tank and the titanium front, the front end, so where the fuel tank goes. I got the old front end that came with the car. So that's all done. So put a new titanium tree in that. Make a new exhaust manifold on the driver's side and some pipe work, and yeah,
It's ready to
Good to
go.
go.
yeah.
So give us
still
give
a bit
us,
of work.
give us some background on that car, like just for obviously people watching that don't know, because we sometimes forget that everyone watches what we watch. But what have you done in that car? How fast have you gone? What's the quickest? What have you done in it?
So basically, we were at first we were focusing on the 585,
Yep.
which is like it's a fast 585. It's still fast.
If you can do that consistently,
and
perfect.
and that's the key is making it consistent. So no use going out there going 6.0, 5.9, 6.1. We're trying to get the car to be as consistent, which we haven't done yet. I'll be honest. We've ran 585, but we've also ran 584. So, that's a breakout. But yeah, look, just trying to get the car dialed in.
It's harder than what a lot of people see
Yeah.
run that 585 consistently.
I mean, it's easy
I
just
can
to
do
go
it.
turn it up.
I'll do it all the time.
It's a big
Game.
setup,
Yeah.
to be honest. The setup, and I think I discussed this with the boys over in the States. The combinations
Yeah.
that we run, well, I know that I run, and you,
Yeah.
isn't suited for a 585 index.
No.
That's the reality of it.
I mean, look,
You're having to dumb it right down.
Yeah, but the thing is too, we're also got these converters and gearboxes that are set up for 585, and when you're trying to do, to run flat out, like 540s, 530s, whatever, how far, we've got these gearboxes and converters that are capable of doing this, and then when you try and slow them down, they don't really work real good. But I mean, when we went 550. I think we went, what did we go, Jonathan, 980 in the 60?
Yeah.
And on that day, we went 950. We went
959.
950 and had an aborted run, just past the...
I think it was a
the
330 was like
Yeah.
a couple of numbers up. as
So,
well.
I mean, that 550, the increments up to half track, we've already been faster than that. We've 60-footed faster. We've
330. that's
eighth
it.
mile an hour, ET. We've already been quicker, but... So these cars, not just mine, Andrew's, Greg's, there's plenty of them out there that are more than capable of going this fast.
Faster, but we're not allowed.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well, I mean, that brings us to another topic, and I've spoken about it to a few guys already, about the idea of trying to run something to the 8th mile.
yeah, look, I'd be keen on, racing,
Like it's, for me,
the
I
8th
don't,
mile stuff.
if I'm being honest, I
And
don't
try
want
to
to go
go
out all
fast.
the time and run 270, 280 miles an hour.
No.
It's too dangerous.
Yeah, it is.
Like, to do it when the weather's right and the conditions are good,
Yeah.
and you're there to try and run a really fast number, then I'm all for that. But I think to then let the car achieve its potential, you need to be able to run to the 8th mile to get it to go as fast as you want.
Yeah.
That obviously brings its own challenges in that, not everybody's got the same sort of capabilities to be able to go that fast, which is why I think the introduction of maybe a set of rules, the PDRA rules, or something that'll bring some parity to that, you know?
Look, I'm all for that. No, I've been over to the 8th mile pro mod races in the States, and I think they're the best.
They are.
They're unreal. But to try and do that here in Australia, first of all, who are we going to get to police all these rules?
We'll pay someone.
Who?
Get the Pro Mod Association to pay someone. You pay a membership. Pay someone to come to every event
I
and
think you
police
need
it.
an independent person.
Yeah.
If we get someone that's a racer,
I'm
No.
independent. What are we doing?
we will find somebody.
Make a vote.
We will find somebody that will get paid a wage to come out to every event and
Yeah.
monitor every single car.
How much?
Slip you 50.
yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like, I think that's, if you want it to be successful and if you want people to be able to come on board, that's what needs to happen.
I think if you had like 1 or 2 events a year of that sort of stuff to go with the pro mod racing that's happening with IHRA or NDRC, I should say, NDRC. It's just
Has anyone ever asked the question,
more.
why?
More.
Why what?
Why?
Why what?
Why you capped?
Because safety.
But
Oh, look, the
nowhere
fight-
else does this.
Yeah,
Why?
but if we smash at 265, we'll die. If we smash at 260, we won't.
But how come America and everyone else doesn't care about that?
I'm
Well-
being
Oh, they
sarcastic.
do. They do.
the reason the 260 cap is I was told, I don't know truth or not, but
Well,
I
you
was-
got the
I was-
fine, you
I
will
was
know.
told that there's an inquest happening over the passing of Sam. All right, so they had to show that they were doing something about the safety of drag racing. So they came up with this cap at 260.
But what's the difference from 270? It ain't going to help you.
I don't know. I'm not here to argue the point.
We need to argue the point.
There's a rule there. What can we do?
Argue the point.
Yeah.
Race
Ask the
at
questions.
Andrew sanctioned events, and you won't have that problem.
Well,
Which
that's
are where?
right.
Which are where?
Well,
The
I
bend-
mean,
the
bend, the
Adelaide.
bend,
The bend.
but then there's talks that maybe like,
Queensland might
but
be
they've
doing
got dual
dual.
sanctioning.
Yeah.
So who's to say that this dual sanctioning won't happen in Sydney or won't happen at Willowbank?
Yeah.
It has to. Like,
Wasn't that meant to happen already?
No,
Like,
December.
There's a
expire?
contract. There's a
Yeah.
contract.
It hasn't expired yet?
no, not yet.
Okay.
December.
I don't think Australia's ready for 8th mile racing.
You may be right.
I mean, look, the Kenda stuff, it's as much as I love it, it's 8th mile. It's not huge spectator-wise, you know what I mean?
compared to overseas, we've got
I really
nothing.
do wish it was because, I think it's good racing, I really love it.
But it's safer. It's better on the car. It's easier on the car. It's
100%.
it's got a lot of benefits
It's pretty gay.
that go with it. Well, it's people like you that
Like, what's the point of not going to the full track?
I'll tell you what it is. Once you get in a car and you go that fast, you realise
It's
that
enough.
it's actually enough.
So-
It really is.
As a spectator, what do you enjoy watching?
Quarter mile, 100%.
Yeah. Quarter mile.
Quarter mile?
Pro racing.
Yeah, but what class?
At a
What
drag
about
strip.
class? What
Me, I
classes
love
do you
radial
like?
street cars that go fast.
That's what he loves.
Like Asaf's car, for an example. Saying
that's
something
fine.
that do that.
Yeah.
That class, whatever that is.
Yeah, something that it's not meant to
Like
do
a
that.
pro
Yeah.
street
Yeah,
type.
a pro mod is meant to go fast, but when you see a street
See,
car going,
I mean,
pro
I
mod
like,
numbers,
I like if I'm like a spectator, I like to watch. I'll definitely pro mod, door slammer, pro
Top fuel.
stock,
Top fuel. I don't watch pro stock.
top fuel. Yeah,
love
I mean, look, it's it's a class. It's a Group 1 class. It's always exciting racing. There's close racing.
Yeah. I think pro mod
just
and
watching
pro
one
street
car
are
going down
the
the quarter.
biggest.
Yeah, it's great to see a number.
yeah, but you like to see
But
it racing.
you like to see racing. I
Like
like to see
Jambo the other
side
day.
by
Yeah,
side.
It was good.
Yeah,
Door handle
Yeah.
to door handle. That's exciting racing.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Like example the other day at Jambo, Frank's final run with
Colin.
Yeah.
that was sick.
Yeah, it was a good run. Yeah.
That's what the people want to see.
That's the people
Well,
want to see.
it's entertaining and it's makes it more competitive. I
Yeah.
think that's the thing about
So
it.
if you can race side by side, win and do a PB, that's hectic.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I mean, when we were there, Andrew, I mean, you were there for that Pro Mod series. There was 50 or 60 Pro Mods,
In the paddock, mate.
pairs coming out. One
That's
after,
sick.
side by side. And they were...
Non-stop.
And
It's overseas?
And it was like what was it, a 32 car field or 16? I can't remember now.
No, 32. But it was they had 50-something cars.
Yeah, 50-something
And 32 qualified.
32 qualifying, but from 1 to 32, there was like,
A lot of engines.
A few numbers.
yeah, it wasn't.
We should
wasn't
get
a huge
everyone
deal.
into the pro mod scene in Australia, I reckon.
well, I think it's already like that.
I've got a
There's
pro
lot
mod
of
for
pro
sale,
mods.
guys, if anyone wants a pro mod.
I mean, look at the NDRC. There's been 12, 14,
Yeah.
12, 14 cars turn up.
Have you been
At
to
events.
any big events in the States like World Cup or
Yeah.
Pro Mod versus
We were there together.
domestic?
He was
Oh
just
yeah.
saying-
Oh, you were. That's right.
He
Yeah.
just said that.
So what? Sorry, man.
Me and Jonathan were there for
Was it no limit?
no,
The
the,
radio?
That's the game.
no,
I
no,
play.
no. We went to No Mercy.
No mercy.
That's
and
awesome,
But
man.
no, didn't were you there when we went with Carl
Yeah.
Cox
Yeah.
to PDR NHRA?
I went to No Mercy before the
Can I
World
pause
Series.
just for a second?
Yeah.
Speaking about Carl Cox, how did Carl Cox end up racing here and coming to use? A lot of people have asked that question.
So we were building that, the Capri that Carl's racing, the
Yeah.
twin turbo. Well, it's twin turbo. It was single turbo. Now it's twin turbo. So we were building the Capri for a customer who got over it, didn't want to finish the car, and Frank, who was already dealing with Carl Cox, building engines and stuff for him for his street cars, because he's got quite a collection of street cars. He mentioned to Carl that there was a Capri for sale that we had, and he loves his Capris and Cortinas and all the English cars, because he's obviously from the UK. So yeah, we got introduced at the drag strip. He came down to the workshop, looked at the Capri, bought the Capri, and we basically finished it off to suit him. Yeah, so
Has been a customer ever since.
ever since, yeah. So we've built a few cars for Carl. Yeah.
Yeah, well. I've always wondered how that happened. A guy from the UK is
He's
a
a
DJ.
pretty cool dude, yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's meeting up in Wollongong.
Yeah, no,
Did it make sense?
he's been to the shop heaps of times. Yeah, he's come to family
Well,
events.
next event, can you
Is he
invite
coming?
him so he can DJ?
Is he coming back to race here?
Yeah. So he's
He's got a couple of pro mods there now.
yeah, he's got his
One in England and
his
one in-
Cuda that he's got in the States at the moment. Will be here around October. So potentially we haven't seen the calendar yet for the NDRC rounds of.
When are they releasing that?
Next week.
They should have been
We've
this
been
week.
told next week for the last few weeks.
So yeah, I know we're on the same thing. You know what I mean?
So they're hoping that the first round is
Always.
going to be in October, which will be at the Bend, I believe. And yeah, he'll probably be racing that event. Yeah,
And that's a pro charge deal.
yeah, Pro Charge. Yeah,
Have
Yeah,
you have you
pro
ever seen him DJ?
yeah. We've been to a few of his shows. I
Really?
went to. Me and Jonathan actually went to a pool party.
Did you go to a rave, Joe?
in Las Vegas?
No way.
In Vegas, yeah.
How was that?
He took us
clubbing.
along to his pool. Oh, it was an eye opener.
I bet it was. Probably ping it off your head.
No.
Was it really an eye opener?
It was. Especially
You got any
like-
photos, Josh?
Yeah,
Well, look, speaking of eye openers, mate. Well, I think
well, I
everybody
walked in
wants
there
to
and
know.
I couldn't find Jonathan for a few
Yeah,
hours.
well-
I didn't know where he disappeared.
thought your
to.
eyes
He was in the toilets. He was in the toilets having a convo.
So speaking of eye openers, talk to us about that most recent eye opener.
Which one?
The one in your the accident.
Oh, the accident. Oh, yeah. I try to forget that one, but
Yeah, so do I.
yeah, like
It's your 1 year today, by the way.
Thanks, man.
yeah, like things were going not bad over that event. I think we were.
Walk us through it, Joe. Walk us through it. Like, what event was it? Was that just a normal?
NDRC.
NDRC.
Oh,
It was
okay.
the second last round.
Yeah, it was on TV.
Yeah, it
That's
was
right.
Second
It was on
last
TV,
round. Yeah, it was. We were in the B final or the C final.
C final,
C
yeah.
final against Rob Campuzzi.
Yep.
I was in the right lane. Rob was in the left. Basically, we left together. My car, when it struck the wheelie bar, turned left and headed towards the centre line. So those cars, as most of you know, like they accelerate like a bat out of hell. I didn't realise the car was heading towards the centre line straight away, but when I did and realised I was close to the centre line, I jumped off the throttle. As soon as I jumped off the throttle, the right tyre, which was still in the groove, and the left lane was in the marbles, the right tyre just parked itself and the left tyre just drove the car around to the right and just straight into the wall. So, I mean, it looked bad for everyone else. For me, sitting in the car as a driver, everything was just like it was in slow motion. I knew that there was no chance I was pulling out of this one. The car was just hooked around to the right and was up on an angle. And because the cars are travelling in a forward direction, when it turns sideways, it's still moving in a forward direction. So when it's hit the wall, it hasn't punched the wall hard.
still
so
going.
it's kissed the wall
Deflected off it.
and flipped upside down.
That was the part that looked the worst.
Yeah, but all I could see was a fire in front of me. Through all the gaps in the car, you just seen a fireball. So yeah, flying upside down, and I remember, because you're upside down, you're disorientated, and the car comes down, sort of like you're just waiting for, for the next impact, and it came down like it came down gracefully onto the roof and then just started sliding, and you could just hear, you know, the grinding of metal.
You were
And-
conscious the whole time.
Yeah, I was conscious the whole time, but the biggest thing was me trying to find the fire extinguisher. So when you're upside down, the windscreen's up against the tarmac, and it's pitch black inside the car. So I can't see anything. I know the fire extinguisher's here, but I'm upside down.
Down
And
there.
I was I'm not, you know, fumbling around looking for this extinguisher. By the time I found it, I'd, you know, like obviously pulled, you know, you only need to pull them out that much, and I pulled it out that much. Got the fire extinguisher out, the car, you know, the flames went out, and the car come to a stop. And usually at the finish line, when I get out of the car, it would take me 30 seconds to get out of the car. Unbuckle, air, fresh air,
10 seconds.
the radios, the window net. I was out of that car when the car stopped under 5 seconds, like door open, out. Well, I reckon it was like 3 seconds I was out of that car. I didn't even undo the window net, didn't take the steering wheel off. I don't know how I got out
Headbutted
of that.
it.
Can I ask
just-
you something?
I
I've
got
always
out of
wanted
that
to
hole.
ask someone this. You're upside down in the car. You let go of that cam lock on the harness. Do you fall out? Like, did you?
Look, in the pro mod, you're pretty close to the roof. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like the funny car
Yeah,
cages.
helmet's kind of holding you
Yeah,
up.
the funny car cage is there. You know, you've probably got, you know, an inch off the funny car cage. So, no, I didn't fall. I just basically just
Crawled out.
crawled out. You know what I mean? But
that's
I got out of the car before the fire crew got to me. You know, because I got out of the car and I was trying to get my helmet off because I had the Hans device and I couldn't find the
Thing to pull it off.
safety or the tabs to
Yeah.
pull the.
When you got
Hans
out,
device.
is that did you think at any point in time during the crash that it wasn't as bad as when you got out and seen it, or did you know that it was pretty bad?
That's a good question.
I remember I jumped out of the car and I looked, you know, because the ambulance guy came up to me, oh, you know, he wanted to take me to the ambulance. And I'm like, no, I'm all right. And he goes, no, you're in shock. You know, and I looked at the car and I went, oh, fuck, I fucked it. You know what I mean? Like,
I know
How,
that
how
feeling.
did you feel seeing all this?
that was the worst.
Yeah.
For,
I think
for,
once
for
I
the people watching.
Obviously, you see the car go to the centre line, and you see. I think I seen the underneath of the car. We ran straight to the buggy and went straight to the deep end.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see it hit the wall or fucking.
How slow's the buggy?
Yeah, it was slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I was in the ambulance and I seen my wife and Jonathan come to the ambulance, and I said to the ambulance driver, I said, mate, I said, I got to get out. I said, I just got to go give these guys a hug, you know what I mean? Like, because
Gotta ensure 'em that you're all right.
seen their face, and, you know, when you see that
That look.
on some, you know, like it was a fear, you know, like what just happened to him? Is he all right? You know what I mean? I just said, look, mate, I got to get out. I'm all right.
So now, has your wife sort of given you any sort of stern orders to?
No.
She's cool with you racing.
Yeah. She, look,
Hey, look,
That's what
she
you
knows that that car had safety. Imagine it didn't have his safety that he puts
Yeah.
in the cars.
look, like I said to her, you know, I said,
What I do.
what am I going to do? If I stop this, and she knows, if I stop doing this, she's going to end up with a fruitcake in her hands. So better keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Just saying
And after obviously the accident, no pain, no aches. But how long after did the pain kick in? If any did kick in?
I remember the
You would know.
I remember there was Greg and Campo standing in front of me, and the ambulance guy goes, "Can you feel any aches and pains?" And I started like doing a bit of boxing, and I was like, "Yeah, nah, mate, I'm all right." And then I went, "Oh, nah, hang on a sec." The back pain kicked in like it was like
Straight away.
Yeah, it didn't take long, but it, you know, it was probably 4 weeks of backache because it was I had a back problem prior to the accident, but it just flared back up. But I'm fine now. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like it's
Obviously,
Could have been a lot worse.
100%.
it could have been.
Can we,
So
can we show
let's
the video?
play this footage. I'm thinking everyone's probably hanging to watch this if they haven't seen it. So
this is my mate Joe.
I
who's
actually
driving.
watched this live. I was at home
Yeah, you rang me freaking out. 'cause
watching
I
it
was at
live.
the
Yeah, me
live.
too.
And I was just like,
You rang me.
I
Is
got
Joe
up
okay?
and I
Is
was
Joe
just like,
okay? I'm like,
holding
yeah,
the top of my head going,
it's fine.
fuck.
Yeah.
Like it was so surreal to watch on TV. So
Left of screen, Rob Campese to the right. Way
How quick it happens.
That's a big one. A
That
big
part there
one
is
for
what
Joe
was
Gauci.
scary.
Into the
You
wall
can't-
and upside down. Fortunately,
You
there's
can't
no tumbling
catch
down
that.
there,
There's
but
nothing
that
you can do to
is a
stop
big
that, you know.
accident for Joe Gauci, and we'll have to get him out of
Parachutes
the
came out at the end,
Group
though.
will be on the scene very quickly.
electromotion worked.
Electromotion.
For
Rob actually pulled up beside me.
Yeah, and he come out.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
When it did that flip in the air, did you feel that? Did you know it did that or no?
It felt motionless for a while. Like, I mean, you know, like the car
Free
was-
fall.
Like,
No
what's
gravity.
happening?
was flying, you know what I mean? But when I looked at the distance that it actually, where it landed and stopped, you know, it felt like it was like, you know, I mean, looking at it, it was probably like on 100 metres,
Yeah.
80 metres.
It felt a lot longer in there.
Yeah.
So what would you do differently next time?
Not come off the throttle completely.
Look, it's hard to say, and I'm still, you know, trying to work out, you know, like I know what happened because I lost a lot of sleepless nights over it, you know, trying to work out, you know, like how did this car just do what it did? But I mean, being out of the groove, like I'm sorry, the car drove towards the centre line. So when you're sitting in these cars, it's like a missile, you know. And I feel it when I'm backing the car up and Jonathan's telling me to go left and right and, you know, to be straight. And I'm sitting in the car and I'm looking and I'm going, I feel like I'm crooked. I don't feel straight. You know, this car's, the way it's shaped, you know, it just didn't feel like I was sitting straight. And when it hit the bars and it turned left but went gun barrel straight towards the centre line. Like it didn't move around at all, did it?
No.
The car was just on a pass, but driving towards the centre line. Like,
At least it goes straight no matter which way you point it.
but when it hit the bars, it turned left. On the hit of the bars, it turned left. And yeah, like when I realised I was close to that centre line, I jumped off the throttle. You know, like I think it's just an instant reaction. You go,
I think that's
you know,
most people's reaction, though. You know?
I don't know how do I change that. Or, you know, like I'd like to think that I could just roll off the throttle
Or drive
and
through it.
drive it round,
Or drive through it.
drive through it and end up in the other lane. Or you don't know if that car's coming. You know, like
Yeah, that's the
you
drama.
know, if that car's coming and you're in that right lane.
Could be worse.
Well,
Look,
lucky and thank God that it wasn't as bad as it looked.
you know, maybe put it up in the comments, see what advice people got for me.
Got any
Oh, there'll
advice
be
for
plenty
Joe?
of that. Plenty of that.
So what's the future for Profab, guys? Like what's going on? I know he's a bit involved in the 6-cylinder world lately.
Oh yeah,
I see you with Frank's car.
It's quite out of control at the moment with everything that's going on in the shop and with our customers. And you know, look, we'll continue racing. We love racing. We love being involved with our customers and helping them out, and you know, helping them PB or you know, reaching their goals. Which it's you know, like the excitement. We get the excitement as well. You know, it's like we've built that or we've helped do something with that car, or you know, to give the satisfaction. Like I always say to you know, guys that we've built fresh cars for, you know, like brand new cars, you know, like I want to get in the tow vehicle and be the first one to pick them up because I want to see the smile on their face, because that's a high. That is one of the highs of drag
satisfaction.
racing, because drag racing is a roller coaster. There's ups
Oh, yeah.
and downs. And
You saw on the
I
weekend
know that, mate.
you know, like that.
with Frank.
Yeah, Frank.
That whatever happened there in the pits, that
Yeah.
was a high.
yeah.
I think we said we were going to touch on that, but I'm mindful of the time. So I think that's probably something we need to talk about at the next episode, the Jamboree and the highs of that, unless you guys want to.
Well, you could bring up the Frank high because we're talking about the high and Profab. How good was that?
Oh, look, you know, seeing And I knew if Frank could drive and get the car to, like drive consistently, which he did.
He drove really well.
He
man.
drove really well. He was cutting good lights. C&V boys were on top of what they were doing with the tune-up. We just all gelled together because it's not just, I can do my job, but if Frank doesn't do his job or C&V doesn't do their job, well, what have we got?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But the three of us gelled together and the car just, performed it.
It performed really well and it was consistent and
we're
it
just slowly creeping up on it.
Man, that was so cool to watch. But I think the best thing about that is I spoke to Frank after the event, and he's like, after what happened there, that made me love drag racing again. And I think it was
especially after his engine.
Yeah,
and that's what it was about. Like
me and him were sitting there supervising. Me and Jay were like,
Can
you believe this is happening?
They had a failure engine, rods let go on the engine, and they had Anthony Matuk and his whole crew and Nada and Danielle and everybody
Danielle's
helping.
cleaning oil
Danielle
hose.
was there. Yeah, she was
the
with
hoses.
the brake cleaner.
When I walked over there to see what was happening, and I
was
saw
shocked.
everyone in the engine bay, and I was like, "What's going on?" And they told me what was happening.
Yeah.
And even Frank walked over, and the smile on his face,
Yeah, he loved it.
and the way that he looked, and everyone else helping, and the way
That's a full high to get everyone to work together.
to see that and to
And
see how
that's
everyone
why
came
Especially
together.
two
I
different
just
workshops.
pulled up a chair.
100%.
And
It
I
was
like,
awesome. It was awesome.
Geez, I can't get in the middle of that.
Yeah.
I'm just going to sit here and watch this.
We're watching it.
You know what I mean?
And honestly, like,
And then to come out and PB,
Yeah.
like,
yeah,
And win the event?
and win the event.
That was sick.
and that,
so
and,
I think
and that look, that there is what sportsmanship's all about, and
Oh,
and
100%.
to see
No
other
hating, everyone
workshops
loving
come
each other.
together and help.
Yeah.
To me,
I mean, look,
that
I'm all
makes
about
me
this-
feel really good about.
the sportsmanship of
You know.
drag racing.
It's meant to be a stress-free sport.
I wouldn't say I have any enemies at the racetrack or people, people maybe that I don't dislike or like or whatever. But if another racer comes up to me and says, I need this to go out and race my car, mate, if I've got it,
It's all yours.
go. Because I know what it feels like to be able to go and ask another racer for something I need.
Yeah, like
that's
know
just
what I
an understanding between racers. Like
Yeah.
it's an unwritten rule, to be
That's
honest. But I think
I
next
love that about drag racing.
yeah, like diff gears.
I think we've
Hey,
next
I didn't tell you
episode
about
we
the
got to have
difference.
Frank on.
What?
Yeah, well,
Frank and C&V.
Frank
You got
will
some?
probably be overseas. He's going overseas. I was speaking to him
What?
today
No.
for the whole month of
Joe,
September.
we're in trouble.
Hello, hello.
Yeah,
He
so
just got back.
Who's that?
because he PB'd, he's going back.
Oh wow,
Who's that?
Frank, you're not going anywhere until
What
we
happened
do-
to his birthday?
He's having that and leaving the next day.
Oh, okay, nice.
So Frank, all right, maybe we'll get C&V, have a chat to him.
Yep.
Yeah, well, we can wait for Frank to come back even and get him in.
But I think we
on.
should talk about the car itself. C&V
Yeah,
built that whole
100%.
thing here, yeah, like
Yeah.
the whole
Yes, and that's like one of the
fabrication
first 6 sit on the cars
Honestly,
they've done.
like for what it's done in a short period of time, and for
It's
him,
impressive.
obviously switching shops and so many different things. Like he's really changed his whole program. From
They-
engine to shop to car to everything.
The whole fabrication of the car got done at their shop. Like everything got redone.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive, man.
So it's
To get it to work.
It's really
and,
cool.
And Profab's involvement in getting that to work.
Yeah, so when
fast,
we got that car, like they basically did everything in house and they went out and tested it, and the car was like turning right hard.
I
It
remember.
wasn't turning right. It was doing it. It was
You
turning
turn-
right in the burnout.
Yeah, it was turning right. But we got the car, and Frank rang me and said, "Oh, can you go over it?" And I went over it, and we checked and replaced some parts and that. And I said, so when I seen it all, I was like, "Who done all this? Like where did this car come from?" So apparently, when they bought it from America, I reckon they've moved bars, changed shocks, done a lot of,
Frank told me that.
changes on this car that
It wasn't the same car that went 560.
There was no way that this car could run the way it was. So,
Yeah, standard Americans. So like shit, that's bodgy.
but anyway,
Hopefully not.
Well, it wasn't
whatever it
Americans.
was, yeah, we
Yeah. Well,
Sorted it.
he's killed it. Did well. To credit to everyone.
It's still got some,
It's got
Oh,
more
100%. You could definitely tell it's got more in it.
Yeah.
So
All right,
it's,
we'll see you at the track more often.
Can't wait to see it go. We'll go quicker anyway.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming in,
We
guys.
really
Thanks for coming
appreciate
on, guys.
you
Yeah.
guys
Thank you.
coming on.
Appreciate it.
For
having
everyone
us.
out there, you need work done to the chassis or radial cars?
No, we've got plenty of work. That's all right. It's all good.
What's the lead time now, mate?
It depends who you are.
I can't even put a time on it at the moment. It's just, it's out of
Are
control.
you taking the 2 GTRs? We'll drop it off next week.
Huh? No.
Yeah.
Scaling cars is easy. It's the
No,
fabrication and the
he's
building.
doing a full proper fabrication GTR for us.
It's just the
I think when
time frame
we
at
were
the
out dropped
moment.
his car off, I think we'd done that in 2 weeks,
Yeah.
3 weeks, that
Yeah.
full.
Well, the second time around, it was 2
And then
weeks.
that second time,
Yeah. And now it's coming back again.
Just in case you didn't know, it's coming back again. Miro decided to do a makeover.
Yeah.
Doesn't stop.
No,
But, I
definitely
mean,
not.
look, all the shops are pretty busy, so, all the shops are.
No, it's good. Once again, thanks for coming in, guys.
Thanks for coming on,
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you.
See you on the
Appreciate
track.
it. And yeah,
Thanks, boys.
thanks,
Thank
guys.
you.
See you on the next
Tune
one.
in next time.
Thanks for having us.
Like and subscribe, everyone, so we can keep this rolling and going.
Shut up again.
Hit like and subscribe down there somewhere.